This page is the cover of Sega Saturn Fan, the January 1995 issue, priced at 540 yen. It's highlighted as the inaugural issue under the new name, having previously been Mega Drive Fan. The cover features a render of Akira Yuki from Virtua Fighter, which is the main focus of this issue, with a special feature on the game's ranked match mode. Other notable articles listed include a feature on Lunar, Eternal Blue, strategy guides for Versus R Deluxe, and Puyo Puyo 2, an interview with Yu Suzuki about Daytona USA, and discussions with third-party developers regarding the future of the Saturn console. The cover text proudly declares the magazine is born again. This page is a bold announcement for the arrival of the Sega 32X, promoted as an upgrade booster that transforms your Mega Drive into a 32-bit powerhouse. It highlights the key technical advancements the 32X brings, such as the dual SH2 processors, high-speed processing capabilities, polygon rendering, and a vast palette of over 32,000 colors, promising enriched sound and visuals far beyond the standard 16-bit machine. The page showcases a lineup of high-grade software available for the 32Xs at accessible prices. Featured games include stunning arcade ports like Space Harrier and Star Wars Arcade, enhanced versions such as Virtua Racing Deluxe and Afterburner Complete, and cutting-edge titles like Doom, Metalhead, Cyber Brawl, and Golf Magazine presents 36 great holes starring Fred couples, demonstrating the new system's graphical muscle and varied library. It also teases a list of upcoming software titles for the platform. Additionally, the bottom section briefly promotes the Mega Drive 2 as a compact 16-bit console, and the Mega CD2 as its hyper-attachment, positioning the 32X within the larger Sega console ecosystem and emphasizing the expansion from 16-bit to 32-bit gaming. This page features a dramatic artistic image on the left, depicting a figure holding a representation of the planet Saturn, symbolizing the arrival of the console, and announcing Saturn News Volume 1.1. The right side heralds the release of incredible 64-bit class software for the platform. The page showcases a lineup of exciting titles demonstrating the Sega Saturn's capabilities. This includes the highly anticipated arcade-perfect port of the groundbreaking 3D fighting game, Virtua Fighter, featuring enhanced graphics and a new ranking mode. We also see the charming 3D action platformer, Clockwork Knight, highlighted for its detailed polygon visuals and dynamic camera work. The atmospheric adventure mansion of Hidden Souls, an enhanced port of the Mega CD title, is featured with new story elements. Further games highlighted include the action game Tama, a Mahjong title, the acclaimed mystery adventure Myst making its console debut from the Mac, the FMV-driven mystery Wan Chai Connection, and the arcade racer Gale Racer, evolved from the popular Rad Mobile. These diverse titles showcase the variety of experiences available. The page also prominently displays the Sega Saturn console itself, positioning it as the powerful machine capable of delivering these 64-bit class experiences. This page announces the arrival of the Victor V Saturn, declaring it the next-generation 32-bit system with complete interchangeability with the standard Sega Saturn. The visual is a striking, futuristic landscape overseen by Saturn's rings, highlighting the console under a protective dome, promising incredible graphics and sound, thanks to its dual 32-bit RISC CPUS and 32-channel PCM sound. It emphasizes the potential for multimedia expansion, including video CD support, suggesting the system is more than just for gaming. The page features popular arcade hits making their way to the console, showcasing screenshots of the groundbreaking 3D fighter, Virtua Fighter, the charming 3D platformer, Clockwork Knight, the atmospheric mystery adventure, Mansion of Hidden Souls, and the high-speed racer, Gale Racer. JVC's branding is prominent, emphasizing their role in this powerful virtual game machine. The actress Minami Ozawa is featured, adding a personal touch to the excitement surrounding the V Saturn's debut. This page showcases the highly anticipated puzzle game, Puyo Puyo 2, the sequel to the original Puyo Puyo. The vibrant artwork features main characters like Arle Naja, alongside a large cast of quirky opponents, highlighting that you'll face a massive 32 characters in this installment. A prominent green burst emphasizes the intense versus mode, promising heated battles. The page displays classic Puyo Puyo gameplay screenshots, showing the iconic colored Puyo blocks and the game grid. It confirms the game's release on multiple Sega platforms, including the 16-bit Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, the powerful 32X add-on, and the portable Game Gear, ensuring fans could enjoy the competitive Puyo popping action wherever they played. Puyo Puyo 2 was a huge hit, cementing its place as a top-tier puzzle game, with its refined mechanics and expanded roster. This page features a major upcoming release for the Sega CD, the highly anticipated RPG, Lunar, Eternal Blue. Billed as the MegaCad's final masterpiece RPG, the page announces its release date as December 22nd. A special First Press limited edition is highlighted, including a bonus CD featuring songs by the voice actors Chisa Yokoyama, Lucia, and Megumi Hayashibara, Lemina, as well as a GJ-style chat between them. The artwork prominently displays the game's logo, alongside stunning character illustrations and iconic landscapes from the game world. Several screenshots showcase the game's vibrant graphics, including exploration scenes and dynamic battle sequences rendered in a 3D isometric perspective. The text emphasizes that this sequel delves into the truth behind the world of Lunar and its connection to the Blue Star, promising a story awaited by fans. It also details the impressive production values, including extensive animated cutscenes with over 4,000 frames of animation and a large voice cast, and highlights the advanced battle system with strategic depth and intelligent AI. The game is priced at 9,800 yen.
This page introduces Mahjong Goku Tenjiku, a unique Mahjong title based on the classic Journey to the West story. The goal is to become the ultimate Mahjong king by facing off against various monsters. The main characters, Sun Wukong, Pigsy, Sandy, and Tripitaka, embark on a Mahjong journey across 6 different countries, challenging a total of 18 unique demon opponents. The game is highlighted for featuring the latest and strongest AI routines, promising realistic and challenging gameplay. Players can select difficulty levels from beginner to advanced, and the game includes features like record tracking, replay modes, and training modes to help improve skills. Rules can be customized for each country, and players can freely choose opponents regardless of their progress. Mahjong Goku Tenjiku was released for both the Sega Saturn and PlayStation, with the Saturn version launching on November 22nd and the PlayStation version on December 3rd, priced at 5,800 yen. This page presents a split cover featuring 2 publications or sections. On the left is Virtual Idol Volume 2, a magazine dedicated to beautiful girl characters and voice actors, highlighting game and anime idols. It features artwork and real-life idols, including a feature on the popular game Dukyusei, and a poster of Mariko Kuda. The right side is the Sega Saturn Fan, January 1995 issue, featuring a 3D render of Kagemaru from Virtua Fighter. This issue is packed with launch coverage for the Sega Saturn, including special reports on the console's development, an in-depth look at the rank recognition mode in Virtua Fighter, and a feature on Yu Suzuki's work on Daytona USA. There is also a significant special feature dedicated to the RPG Lunar, Eternal Blue. A game index provides a quick overview of titles covered in the Saturn Fan section. This page features a special report celebrating the launch of the Sega Saturn, titled, "Saturn is made by us," asking third parties. The article delves into the state of the Saturn software library shortly after release, acknowledging that while the hardware is available, the full breadth of games is still developing, which is essential for a console's completion. It highlights interviews with key developers from various software houses, asking for their thoughts on the Saturn's capabilities and the types of games they plan to create for the system. The piece emphasizes the excitement and efforts of third-party developers to push the machine's potential, suggesting a strong future for the console driven by diverse software. Screenshots displayed include classic Sega titles that illustrate the company's gaming heritage, such as the 8-bit space shooter Space Harrier and the iconic 16-bit platformer Sonic the Hedgehog.
There's also a screenshot from an early 3D fighting game, likely Virtua Fighter, which was a major launch title for the Saturn and representative of the system's graphical power. A timeline of Sega's hardware releases is also present, charting the company's history leading up to the Saturn. This page continues the Sega Saturn launch special, presenting different developer perspectives on the console's capabilities shortly after its release. Sega's Yuji Naka provocatively argues that, aside from Virtua Fighter, 2D is interesting on the Saturn, suggesting that current technology still allows for incredibly expressive 2D games, and the system has ample power for impressive sprite-based titles, offering a refreshing alternative to polygons. Developers from Konami and Capcom also share their views, highlighting the Saturn's strength as a machine capable of near-direct arcade ports. Konami references titles like Extreme Parodius, shown in a screenshot,
as an example of bringing high-quality arcade experiences home.
Capcom discusses their focus on arcade conversions, including the upcoming Street Fighter.
The movie game, uniquely featuring digitized live actors for its characters, as depicted in the accompanying photos of the cast, such as Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile. The page features screenshots demonstrating both the early 3D polygon graphics of Virtua Fighter and the vibrant, detailed 2D sprite work seen in games like Extreme Parodius, visually representing the discussion around the console's graphical capabilities. The article includes insights from key figures like Yuji Naka of Sega, Tomokazu Kirita of Konami, and Mitsuhiko Shibata of Capcom. This page delves into different perspectives on the Sega Saturn, specifically focusing on the requirements for next-generation RPGs and the technical challenge of mastering the console's dual CPU architecture. Developers from GameArts discuss the need for RPGs to feature deep world settings and offer substantial playtime, with screenshots showcasing Lunar Eternal and Shining Force CD as examples. GameArts Miyagi highlights their focus on setting for Lunar Eternal. Meanwhile, developers like Yoshiyuji Naito from Climax and Masato Miyagawa from Treasure weigh in on the hardware. They emphasize that effectively utilizing the Saturn's twin CPUs is crucial, especially for performance-intensive genres like action games and handling the speed of data from the ClydROM drive. Sega is actively supporting third parties by providing development tools and technical assistance. Naito notes the challenge and potential of the two CPUs, calling it the key. The page also mentions Sega's efforts to provide technical support, building on the previous page's discussion of arcade ports and general hardware capabilities. A screenshot of an isometric RPG is shown, and Landstalker is cited in the text alongside Treasure's Gunstar Heroes as examples of developer expertise. This page continues the discussion on the Sega Saturn, focusing on the crucial role of software and third-party developers. Developers emphasize that while the Saturn's hardware is powerful, its success ultimately hinges on the quality and variety of games available. The sentiment expressed is that users should feel free to abandon the console if the software isn't compelling. Various developers share their perspectives, highlighting their commitment to creating engaging titles. Koei discusses bringing their strategy games like Romance of the Three Kingdoms IV to the platform, focusing on adapting their traditional gameplay to the new hardware and exploring 3D possibilities. Data East talks about bringing arcade hits like Side Pocket and developing new content. The consensus among developers is that the Saturn needs strong software to attract users beyond the core arcade fans. Brief comments from various third parties like ASC2, ArtDink, Imagineer, and Success reiterate their plans and expectations for the console. The conclusion reinforces that users, by choosing which software to buy, are the ones who will ultimately shape the success of the Sega Saturn. Screenshots showcase games like Romance of the Three Kingdoms IV and Side Pocket, alongside images of developers and character artwork, possibly from games like Fighting Vipers. This page details Virtua Fighter's Saturn-exclusive rank certification mode, explaining how players achieve ranks through technical points, clear time, and strategic play. The feature delves into how this mode works, which was a unique addition to the home version. The page focuses on the Virtua Fighter rank certification mode, aiming to help players understand how to achieve higher ranks. It explains that rank is determined by several factors: the number of stages cleared, the clear time, and technical points. Technical points are earned by successfully executing specific, defined moves during combat. There are specific rules for gaining these points, such as points varying based on the situation, like landing counter hits and earning points for finishing moves. It's noted that using the same move repeatedly in a round yields fewer points after the first successful execution. The strategy section highlights key advice. Master and correctly use the defined moves, including throws. Utilize combos and down attacks to defeat opponents quickly and improve clear time, and develop specific strategies tailored to each CPU character. Screenshots show various Virtua Fighter characters, like Akira, Jackie, Sarah, and Wolf, demonstrating moves and KOS, illustrating the points discussed. Small result tables provide examples of the performance metrics required for different ranks, showing clear stage, time, technical points, and overall evaluation. This page continues the discussion on Virtua Fighter's rank certification mode, specifically detailing high-scoring techniques for earning technical points by focusing on character-specific strategies. It highlights key moves and tactics for Akira, Yuki, and Kagemaru. For Akira, the guide emphasizes mastering core moves like the Iron Mountain and focusing on precise timing for counters. It points out the importance of targeting opponents after a knockdown with specific follow-up attacks
like the Swallow's return for significant technical points. Akira's style is presented as requiring disciplined execution and timing. The section for Kagemaru focuses heavily on throws as his primary method for racking up technical points. Strategies involve utilizing throws like the neck slicer drop for ringouts, which provide extra damage and points. Cage's gameplay is shown to leverage his throwing game and ability to force opponents out of the ring. Screenshots throughout the page visually demonstrate the discussed techniques and strategies for both characters in various combat situations. Move lists for both Akira and Cage are provided, detailing their attacks, attributes, and button commands, guiding players on how to execute these crucial techniques. This page breaks down character-specific strategies and key moves in Virtua Fighter for maximizing technical points in the rank certification mode. This page dives into the rank certification mode strategies for Lao Chan and Pai Chan in Virtua Fighter. For Lafao, the focus is on leveraging his fast, high-scoring combinations and palm techniques to quickly earn technical points. His reputation as a high-level character is highlighted, though the guide notes the importance of mastering his precise timing, especially for moves like his quick knee strikes, which are essential for shortening matches in this mode. The reviewer notes his technical scoring potential is high, but execution is key. Pai Chan's section presents her strategy as fundamentally similar to Lao's, emphasizing technical points. Her key move, the swallow dive, is specifically mentioned as a powerful tool for earning points and controlling the fight. Like Ladao, her game relies on precise timing and combination execution. The guide points out her effectiveness, especially when fighting opponents who tend to guard a lot. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate the character-specific moves and combinations discussed, showing them in action during gameplay. Extensive lists detailing each character's moves, their attributes, and the required commands are also included, providing players with the necessary information to practice these techniques and maximize their technical point scores. This page shifts focus to strategies for Wolf Hawkfield and Jeffrey McWild in Virtua Fighter's rank certification mode. Continuing the theme from the previous page, Wolf's section emphasizes using his powerful throws repeatedly to earn technical points quickly. While he might not be the fastest, his giant swing and splash mountain are highlighted as crucial for scoring points and achieving ringouts. The guide also mentions the utility of his Axel knee and shoulder tackle, noting the Axel knee's power comes with the risk of being vulnerable if it misses. Screenshots show his key throws and a ringout scenario. Jeffrey's strategy also revolves around scoring technical points with throws. His signature torso splash is presented as a high-damage, point-scoring move. The guide notes that Jeffrey's throws interact differently with the scoring rules than some other characters, making his torso splash particularly valuable for technical points. Additional advice covers using the 1-2 uppercut to escape pressure when cornered near the ring edge. Screenshots feature his torso splash, iron claw, body lift, 1-2 uppercut, torso hammer, and powerbomb. Both sections include detailed lists of each character's moves, their properties, and the command inputs required to execute them. This page continues the Virtua Fighter Rank Certification Mode Strategy Guide, focusing on the Bryant siblings, Sarah and Jackie. For Sarah Bryant, the emphasis is on her powerful down attacks and ability to quickly clear time attack stages. Her strengths lie in utilizing quick dashes and neckbreaker holds. The guide recommends focusing on combos and counters that lead to knockdowns, followed by aggressive down attacks like the front suplex or neckbreaker head drop as her fundamental strategy. Her illusion kick and somersault kick are also mentioned as key techniques for meeting specific criteria. Sarah is presented as a character suitable for beginners aiming for high ranks due to her reliable down attack game. Screenshots showcase her somersault, a knockdown combo, and the illusion kick and double joint pad moves. Jackie Bryant is discussed next, described as having a similar fighting style to Sarah, also excelling in quick mid-level counterattacks that lead to knockdowns. Like Sarah, his strategy involves following up knockdowns with aggressive down attacks. The guide notes Jackie is particularly adept at various combinations for clearing technical criteria in rank certification mode, making him potentially even better than Sarah in this regard. Screenshots show his somersault kick and double spinning kick. Both sections conclude with extensive lists detailing each character's moves, their attack properties, high, mid, low, etc., and the corresponding command inputs. These tables provide a comprehensive reference for executing their full movesets. This page continues the strategy guide for Virtua Fighter's rank certification mode,
offering sample clear patterns and advice for reaching high ranks. The guide suggests specific techniques for different stages of the challenge, like focusing on Cage's arc extension drop mid-game, and combinations involving leaf overlap and shadow flow kick in the later stages against opponents like Pei, Wolf, and Lao. Achieving high ranks isn't just about winning, but about demonstrating technical skill and diverse techniques. The guide emphasizes mastering basic moves and using holds, throws, and combos effectively, not just relying on simple regulation moves. Recommended characters for aiming for higher ranks are Akira, Pai, Sarah, and Jackie, specifically mentioning Akira and Pai's strong performance. There's a rank certification mindset section outlining key rules like clearing stages quickly, creating character-specific strategies, using regulation moves and holds at least once per stage, and avoiding KOs solely with regulation techniques. Real-world results show the struggle, with the magazine's Cage run reaching rank 5, failing to meet the target of rank 7 due to relying too much on down attacks and not diversifying. In contrast, an Akira player is highlighted for achieving rank 8, clearing all stages in just over 3 minutes and 44 seconds by skillfully mixing techniques. Finally, the magazine is launching a reader participation project, seeking players who have reached rank 8 to share their expertise and strategies for the Virtua Fighter Experts Path. This page shifts focus from Virtua Fighter to Yu Suzuki and M2 Lab's next major project for the Sega Saturn, the highly anticipated arcade racer, Daytona USA. Having successfully ported Virtua Fighter, the same skilled team is now tackling the challenge of bringing the popular Model 2 arcade hit to the Saturn. The article highlights the arcade version's success and the impressive graphical capabilities enabled by the Model 2 board's texture mapping. It reveals that the Sega Saturn port is currently 40% complete as of November 1st, with the development team targeting completion of the beginner course first. The game features 3 courses: a simple oval for beginners, a challenging mountain road for intermediates, and a scenic seaside course for experts. Screenshots display the game's work-in-progress state on the Saturn, showing the different tracks. Yu Suzuki and the team express confidence in their ability to deliver a high-quality port, stating that working on Virtua Fighter has significantly improved their programming skills for the Saturn. They aim to make the port something fans won't want to miss, striving for a faithful recreation of the arcade experience. This page dives deeper into the challenges of porting Daytona USA to the Sega Saturn, revealing it's considered even harder than bringing Virtua Fighter over due to Daytona's heavy reliance on textures. While the arcade version of Virtua Fighter used textures mainly on the characters, Daytona USA covers almost the entire screen with textures, from the cars to the track and background, demanding significantly more texture processing power from the Saturn. To overcome the Saturn's limitations and achieve a visually impressive port, the development team is making a key compromise, shifting from the arcade's 60 frames per second to 30 frames per second. This allows the system double the time per frame to calculate and display polygons, enabling them to render much more complex scenes and include more detailed models than would be possible at 60 FPS. They are also employing optimization techniques like clipping, which intelligently removes polygons from objects that are outside the player's view, further improving performance without affecting what the player sees on screen. Despite the challenges, M2 Lab is focused on making smart technical decisions to deliver the best possible Daytona USA experience on the Saturn, promising more behind-the-scenes details in the next issue. This document details the Sega STV arcade hardware and its link to the Sega Saturn. M1 Lab is actively developing 2 STV games: Golden Axe, The Duel, a fighting game with familiar characters and strategic combat, and Cool Riders, a motorcycle racing game. Golden Axe, The Duel is approximately 70% complete. This TV's hardware mirrors the Saturn's performance, enabling easy arcade-to-home console ports. M2 Lab, led by Yu Suzuki, is evaluating future projects after Virtua Fighter 2's success and is researching STV development, with Suzuki's ambition to create Virtua Fighter 3. The page includes screenshots of Golden Axe, The Duel, Cool Riders, the STV arcade board, and portraits of key developers from AM Labs. This page features updates from Sega's AM Labs and a reader voice section with game reviews. AM3 Lab discusses their current projects, including Sega Rally Championship and other Model 2 arcade titles. They are also developing games for the STV hardware, such as a 3D action game called Captain Polygon, and various sports games, exploring the combination of polygons and sprites. The Sega Rally section highlights the realistic graphics and handling of the Model 2 game,
showing screenshots of the action. The Captain Polygon reveal shows character designs, hinting at a new Sega character. The reader voice section features a character asking if readers were able to buy a Saturn, and shows a poster for Daytona, USA. The game reviews section focuses primarily on Yu Yu Hakusho, Makyo Toitsusen, a 4-player fighting game on the Sega console, receiving high scores, 98, 87, 90 points. Reviewers praise the game's exciting 4-player battles, solid system, and overall fun, despite some minor critiques.
This page features a vibrant collection of reader contributions, starting with impressive fan art depicting characters from various popular games and anime like Surging Aura, Lunar, Eternal Blue, and Blue Seed, showcasing the talent within the Sega fan community. The reader voice section continues, with more readers sharing their thoughts on Yu Yu Hakusho, Makyo Toitsusen, praising its unique 4-player fighting system and giving it high scores, reaffirming its status as a chowdic and fun party fighter. Additionally, there's a review for Treasure's distinctive action RPG, like Crusader, scoring 85 points, with the reviewer commenting on Treasure's signature unique gameplay approach. The page also includes multiple reader reviews for Sonic and Knuckles, giving scores between 83 and 95 points. Fans highlight the groundbreaking lock-on technology that allows Knuckles to be played in Sonic 3, adding significant replayability and depth, praising the game's signature speed and clever level design as hallmarks of the Sonic series. This page continues with more reader contributions, categorized into different themes like comedic works and exploration works, featuring humorous manga-style comics based on popular games and characters, including Sonic and various fighting game archetypes. The main reader's voice section includes further reviews for Sonic and Knuckles. Readers offer varied opinions, with some finding the enemy placement too easy or the content lacking compared to Sonic 3, while others praise the graphics, the new elements, and the game's signature speed and the innovative lock-on technology allowing Knuckles gameplay. The publisher acknowledges the feedback on the lock-on feature. Additionally, there are reader reviews for Captain Tsubasa. Opinions are mixed. Some liked the opening presentation and game system, while others felt the visuals were good, but the core gameplay lacked depth, or the balance of character growth felt off in the Kleindrom version. The publisher thanks readers for their input on the game. This page is dedicated to the reader-submitted 4-panel manga contest, featuring characters from the Puyo Puyo and Madu Monogatari series. It announces the winners of the 4th monthly award, highlighting the MVP winner from Mie Prefecture, Ruveno Jr., for a comic praised for its detailed artwork and effective humor using Puyo Puyo characters. Several special prize winners are also recognized from different prefectures for their creative takes on the series' characters. The page showcases examples of the submitted comics, displaying various styles and comedic approaches based on the popular puzzle and RPG franchises. Additionally, it serves as a call for further submissions, announcing the final deadline for entries to be considered for the overall ranking, and providing instructions on how to submit manga entries for future contests. This page features a major spread on the highly anticipated sequel, Lunar Eternal Blue, making its triumphant return on the Sega CD roughly 2.5 years after the original. The centerpiece showcases the vibrant main cast, hinting at the new adventure awaiting players. The article dives deep into the game's appeal, touting significant system and graphical enhancements. It highlights the improved character demos used during event scenes, noting their increased expressiveness, and boasts a massive increase in anime visual scenes, approximately 5 times more than the first game, totaling around 70 minutes of animation. The page also includes a reader's voice section, where fans share their thoughts on Sega's systems, like the Saturn and Mega Drive/32X, alongside a call for readers to submit their opinions and ideas for new magazine segments. This page provides a deep dive into the improved game systems featured in Lunar Eternal Blue. Building on the foundation of the first game, this sequel introduces several enhancements designed to make the gameplay more user-friendly and strategic. The article highlights changes to field commands, making them more intuitive, and a new system command that provides crucial information like your current location and level. Investigation using the key button is now more detailed, and checking item effects is made simpler. Combat receives significant upgrades, moving towards more strategic battles. New commands like strategy allow presetting actions, while the guard command enables protecting allies. The formation system is much more flexible, allowing detailed placement of characters on an 8x9 grid to suit different combat situations. For repeatable battles, the
The memory command lets you save and recall battle patterns for individual characters, streamlining grinding. The game also includes a configurable options menu for personalizing settings like window colors. Even Companion Ruby is highlighted as more than just transport, playing a helpful role in saving and revealing unexpected power in battle. These updates collectively aim to provide a smoother and more engaging experience for players. This page delves into two key system enhancements in Lunar: Eternal Blue, the refined shop system, and the innovative Magic Power system. The shops have been made much more user-friendly, clearly displaying item effects, prices, and, importantly, which characters can equip weapons and armor right in the menu. There's even a convenient combined shop, making transactions quicker. The crucial new system is Magic Power, or Marioku. Unlike the previous game, where magic was learned automatically on level up, now players earn M points in battle and can use them to arbitrarily strengthen specific types of magic for each character. This allows for significant customization, unlocking more powerful spells within different magical disciplines as you invest points. The page illustrates this with examples, showing how spells evolve and gain power, offering players greater control over character development and tactical options in combat. Characters whose magic is detailed include Hyro, Ronfar, Lemina, and Jean. This page serves as a world guide for Lunar, Eternal Blue, focusing on key locations in the early game areas, the Saiyan Desert, and the Madria Plains. It provides a map of the Saiyan Desert, highlighting several important destinations players will visit. Featured locations include Port Town Dalton, a bustling hub known for its airship docks and devout followers of Althena; the remote desert village Rapa, a settlement populated by gamblers where you might encounter Ronfar; Hyro's home, situated centrally in the desert where Hyro lives with his grandfather Gwen; Lance's Sea of Trees, a dense forest labyrinth potentially hiding secrets; the enigmatic Tower of the Dragon Star, rumored to hold treasures but difficult to access; and the connected challenges of the Blue Labyrinth and the Blue Tower. The guide notes the Blue Labyrinth is a ruin filled with traps, leading to the impressive, 7-story Blue Tower. Floor maps for both the labyrinth and the tower's multiple floors are provided, suggesting the final floor of the tower holds a significant encounter. This overview gives players a clear sense of the initial journey and the diverse environments and challenges they will face. This page continues the world guide for Lunar, Eternal Blue, focusing on the Madria Plains, the next major area players will explore after the Saiyan Desert. It provides a map and highlights key locations within the plains. Featured spots include the Trading Village, a hub for merchants described as having unique shops and items. Next is a carnival, a vibrant place with attractions and unique characters, hinting at story significance. Lastly, there are the ancient ruins, an enigmatic structure with no visible entrance, suggesting a mysterious and potentially hidden area. The text hints at unique events occurring here. There's also a brief note about the Lunar, Eternal Blue package contents, mentioning a 2-disc jacket, world map, CD-ROM, and a bonus single CD. Another section details a poster giveaway contest featuring artwork by Toshiyuki Kubuka. The page also features a hyper-information section covering broader gaming news. It highlights the Atari Jaguar, described as a powerful 64-bit system now available in Japan, listing its impressive specs, like the 64-bit RISC CPU and high color depth. The Sega headline segment mentions locations where players can try the Super 32X game vs. R, and promotes an event where the rock band X Japan will team up with Sega for a joint event at Tokyo Dome, allowing attendees to try Sega Saturn games. This page kicks off with a hyper-information section covering new releases across various media. The Goes section highlights a new Sega amusement spot called Ichikawa Garubo that features VR and motion ride attractions like a Ghost Hunters experience. Under Goods, there's news about a sturdy, arcade-style joystick for the Sega Saturn released by Hori, boasting multiple buttons and rapid-fire capability. Another Go segment announces an exhibition showcasing fantasy and RPG game illustrations by renowned artists. Section, there's exciting information about the upcoming live-action Mortal Kombat movie adaptation, detailing key characters like Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Shang Tsung, and mentioning director Paul W.S. Anderson. The hyper-release information includes compact disc releases for game soundtracks, such as Darius Gaiden, Armored Warriors, and Snatchers, alongside character albums. Video cassette releases feature content related to Ridge Racer and music composer Koji Hayama, while a new book is also listed. Finally,
A hyper-present
section announces a giveaway contest, offering prizes like a Sega Saturn calendar and pen set, concluding with a list of the contest winners. This page delves deep into the world of Sega gaming, with a comprehensive look at various charts and rankings. The focus is squarely on what games are selling, what players want, and how games are performing. We see the monthly sales chart for October, topped by Sonic and Knuckles, followed by Yu Yu Hakusho and Mega Man: The Wily Wars. New releases for the month are also listed, including these top sellers. There are sections dedicated to desired ports, showing which Mega Drive games players want to see on the Saturn and vice versa. Top desired ports include titles like Darkstalkers, The Night Warriors, and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo for Saturn, while Mega Drive players are eager for games like Lunar, Eternal Blue. The games people want to buy lists highlight anticipation for upcoming Saturn titles like Virtua Fighter 2 and Daytona USA, and Mega Drive wishlist includes games like Lunar, Eternal Blue, and Fatal Fury Special. A detailed game performance scores section ranks games across multiple metrics such as operation, music, fun, and originality. Top performers include Sonic and Knuckles, Starblade, Mega Man, The Wily Wars, and Virtua Racing, each accompanied by a screenshot and commentary on their strengths. There's also a separate ranking focused on worth buying based on these performance scores. Overall, the page offers a data-rich snapshot of the Sega gaming landscape at the time, reflecting player preferences and the critical reception of recent releases. This page dives into the crucial topic of where and how players can get their hands on the Sega Saturn console and its games. It explores Sega's expanded distribution strategy beyond just dedicated game stores. The article highlights new distribution routes through electrical appliance stores, toy stores, and even record stores. A diagram illustrates Sega supplying these various channels. Readers share their experiences buying games from discount shops, electrical stores, and record stores. Sega has formed Sega United, partnering with these different retail types to broaden availability. While the traditional toy store route is discussed, the focus is on the expansion into new areas. The record store route is presented with input from Toshiba Emi, who sees these stores as ideal multimedia hubs where games can be sold alongside music creds. Yamano Gaki, a major record store chain, expresses enthusiasm for selling Saturn, viewing it as a multimedia product. The electrical appliance route is also a key focus, featuring Hitachi Media Force, a new entity planning to sell Saturn through Hitachi's extensive network of 8,000 stores. This route is highlighted for its convenience and strong after-sales service capabilities. Ultimately, the expansion into these diverse retail environments is seen as significantly increasing the opportunities for consumers to purchase Saturn hardware and software.
This page features a reader sweepstakes, where participants can win Saturn games by answering a survey. The top prizes for this month include fantastic titles like Clockwork Knight Part 1, The Intriguing Mansion of Hidden Souls, the classic Star Wars arcade, High-Speed Virtua Racing Deluxe, and the charming Mickey and Minnie: Magical Adventure 2. The core of the page is a detailed questionnaire asking readers about their demographics, gaming preferences across various genres, opinions on the magazine's content, and feedback on games they've played. Readers are instructed to tear off the included postcard and fill in their answers using numbered codes or text in the provided boxes, following specific rules for handwriting and number formatting shown in clear examples. There's also a helpful section with criteria for evaluating games, covering aspects like character design, sound, value, controls, intensity, and originality. This page serves as a direct channel for the magazine to gather valuable feedback from its readership, while offering exciting game prizes. This page acts as the interactive hub for the magazine's reader sweepstakes, featuring a tear-off postcard ready for fans to fill out. It's where you submit your entry, detailing your contact information and, crucially, ranking the games you've been playing. This detailed feedback is key for the magazine to understand what resonates with its audience. To help readers, the page also packs in valuable reference data. There's a clear list of this month's articles, laying out the issue's content. You'll also find a rundown of other gaming magazines, and a comprehensive list of hardware platforms beyond just the Sega Saturn. The highlight for any serious fan is the massive list covering game titles released across Mega Drive, Mega CD, Super 32X, and the Saturn itself. It's a handy database, potentially aiding readers in recalling and ranking titles for the survey, and demonstrating the sheer volume of software available in Sega's world. This page introduces the upcoming Sega Saturn RPG, Virtual Highlight, focusing primarily on its dungeon environments. The game faithfully recreates the world and monsters
from the original PC-88 Hydlide 1. It features a 3D environment built with polygons and texture mapping, allowing for real-time exploration and free movement. Screenshots demonstrate the player character's ability to turn left and right, walk, and run, with smooth transitions in the background. The game utilizes a visual technique similar to atmospheric perspective to create a sense of depth. The article highlights 3 distinct dungeons: a mysterious and dangerous one, a natural fortress-like cave with lava eruptions, and a trial cave filled with obstacles. It shows scenes of the player navigating these areas, emphasizing the atmosphere and potential for getting lost in the cave system. Monster encounters are also shown, including trees that move and attack, and smaller, hard-to-spot creatures in the grass. The trial cave features will-o'-the-wisps that illuminate the darkness, adding another layer to the exploration challenge. This page dives into the whimsical world of Clockwork Knight on Sega Saturn. It introduces Pepperuchow, the Clockwork Knight, on his adventure to rescue the lovely Chelsea. The game is a colorful, fairy tale-like 2.5D action platformer where you control the brave Pepperuchow as he navigates levels filled with animated toys. The core gameplay is straightforward, yet allows for a variety of actions, including basic attacks and the unique ability to pick up and throw stunned enemies at others, which is crucial for progression and dealing with groups. The page highlights the various items Pepperuchow can collect, such as metal screws, which act as currency and life recovery items, and the classic 1-up and 3-up for extra lives. Crowns are also important for accessing the bonus game, Solitaire Roulette. The game features creative enemies that are essentially animated household objects and toys, often with comical designs. The world itself is full of tricky traps and environmental puzzles, utilizing switches and mechanisms made from everyday items like batteries and cranes. Finally, the boss battles are highlighted, featuring large, smoothly animated polygon models that transform and attack with dynamic camera work, emphasizing the challenging but fun encounters. This page unveils Shinsetsu Yumemi-kan, a new adventure title for the Sega Saturn set in a mysterious mansion. Stepping into the shoes of the protagonist, you are tasked with investigating strange occurrences within the enigmatic Yumemi Mansion, a location revisited years after the events of the previous game. The game features a significant leap in visual fidelity, with detailed CG graphics, offering a more realistic and immersive experience. Gameplay revolves around exploring the mansion's various rooms from a first-person perspective, carefully searching for clues, and interacting with the mansion's bizarre residents. These inhabitants are a diverse and eccentric group, each with their own distinct personality and secrets tied to the mansion's core mystery, which seems connected to butterflies and dreams. A standout feature highlighted is the emotional input system, where player dialogue choices influence the unfolding scenario based on the protagonist's personality. This dynamic system means the story can change based on your interactions, providing unique experiences with each playthrough. As you delve deeper, you'll uncover hidden items and record progress in a diary, piecing together the truth behind the mansion's strange events. This page showcases Star Wars Arcade, a 3D polygon shooter brought from the arcades to the Sega 32X. This port boasts faithfulness to the original coin-op experience, while adding new features for the home console. The game features 2 main modes, the arcade mode, which includes Rebel Attack, and a training mode, and a brand new 32X original mode. The arcade mode faithfully recreates the arcade game's structure and missions, allowing fans to relive the classic experience. The 32X original mode is a significant addition, introducing 2-player cooperative gameplay, where one player pilots an X-Wing or U-Wing, while the other acts as the gunner. This mode also features unique missions not found in the arcade, such as assaulting a Star Destroyer and navigating its interior. Players pilot iconic Rebel Alliance starfighters, engaging in intense dogfights against Imperial forces. The graphics feature sharp 3D polygons, and the audio includes sampled sound effects and music from the films, immersing you in the Star Wars universe. The page highlights the ability to switch between cockpit and external views, and touches on basic controls and weapons like lasers and proton torpedoes. The reviewer seems impressed by the faithful arcade conversion and the substantial new content added for the 32X. This page features the intense action game Alien Soldier from developer Treasure on the Sega Mega Drive. The article focuses on the game's defining characteristic, a relentless gauntlet of boss battles appearing one after another, starting right from stage 1. The review notes the impressive size and detailed animation of the many enemy bosses, emphasizing that finding their weak points is key to survival. As the protagonist, Epsilon 2, players can choose from 6 distinct weapon types, or forces, equipping 4 before each level. These include varied shots like the Rapid Buster, the Wide-Range Ranger, and the Powerful Lancer, among others. Beyond standard jumping and shooting, the game offers 3 critical special abilities: hovering for mid-air maneuvers, counterforce to turn enemy fire into health, and zero teleport for instant evasive movements, adding strategic depth to the challenging encounters. The sheer number of bosses packed into the early stages, such as Jet Ripper and Madame Barber, culminates in a major battle against Shuman Tiger, promising a thrilling and difficult journey ahead, with familiar foes like Seven Force also teased. This page delves into Virtua Racing Deluxe for the Sega 32X, highlighting the exciting additions to this enhanced version. The main focus is on the 2 new car types and their corresponding tracks. Beyond the original single-seater formula car, the game now features a stock car and a prototype, each with distinct handling and speed profiles. The article breaks down the characteristics of all 3 cars, explaining how their differing top speeds, acceleration, and handling ratings influence race strategy, especially on various course types. It also covers the 3 core game modes: Time Attack for solo runs, Virtua Racing, which seems to be the main single-player experience against AI, and the competitive 2-player versus split-screen mode, a significant upgrade enabling head-to-head races. The page also touches upon strategy, offering tips on how to approach corners and courses depending on the chosen vehicle. Features like replays to analyze your driving and the visual differences in the split-screen mode are also mentioned. Essentially, the article provides a comprehensive look at what makes this 32X version a step up, emphasizing the expanded vehicle roster and the tactical depth they bring to the classic arcade racer. This page provides a detailed strategy guide for 2 specific tracks in Virtua Racing Deluxe: Highland and Sandpark. For Highland, the focus is on mastering its varied corners and occasional straights. The guide breaks down the strategy by sections. The front half emphasizes precise corner entry. The midsection deals with challenging, often tight corners requiring careful navigation to avoid losing speed or hitting guardrails, and the rear half discusses more turns, including a potentially tricky multi-turn section. It also offers specific tips for tackling this track with the stock car, recommending acceleration out of corners, and the prototype, suggesting smooth cornering to maintain speed. The Sandpark section highlights how cornering significantly impacts lap times. It covers strategy for the front half, which features long, sweeping corners leading into a tunnel, requiring good braking technique. The midsection includes a hairpin turn after the tunnel, where precise braking is critical. The rear half discusses a distinctive branching path section and subsequent corners. Strategies are also provided for the car types. The stock car benefits from accelerating hard between corners and braking late, while the prototype requires careful braking and executing slow and fast out lines through the turns to maximize speed. The guide emphasizes adapting your approach based on the specific track section and the chosen vehicle to shave off crucial seconds. This page provides a detailed strategy guide for Puyo Puyo 2, covering techniques for players looking to improve their game, from beginners to those aiming for competitive victories. It starts with the fundamentals of building chain reactions, illustrating basic stacking methods like stairs stacking, and explaining the importance of using the next Puyo to plan ahead. The guide then delves into advanced tactics necessary for competitive play, such as aiming for the all-clear bonus for maximum garbage Puyo output, utilizing specific stacking patterns like concentrating on the left 3 columns, and techniques for building over existing Puyo formations. It also showcases various Puyo layouts and strategies to help players adapt their stacking approach based on the flow of the match, ensuring they can build and execute chains effectively under pressure. The goal is to equip players with the knowledge to go from simple clears to powerful, game-changing chains. This page continues the comprehensive strategy guide for Puyo Puyo 2, moving beyond the basics to focus on building larger and more complex chain reactions, essential for competitive play. The guide delves into techniques for achieving 6-chain and 7-chain patterns, introducing specific methods like hazamikomi, trapping or sandwiching, and orikaeshi, turn back or folding, builds. Visual diagrams and screenshots illustrate various pattern shapes and stacking orders, guiding players on how to effectively incorporate these techniques into their game. The article also provides tactical advice, such as deciding the optimal moment to trigger a chain, strategies for constructing even larger 8-chain or higher reactions, and tips for building safely to avoid mistakes under pressure. It emphasizes the importance of careful Puyo placement and utilizing the next Puyo information to plan complex builds. This page teaches advanced Puyo Puyotsu techniques, focusing on building 6, 7, and 8+ chains using methods like trapping and folding, alongside timing and safety tips. This page features the final episode of the Madu Monogatari manga series, focusing on Draco's ambition. The comic follows Draco Centauros, patched up and disappointed after a failed scheme to betray Arlenaja for money to buy a nice house. However, her plans are interrupted when something strange begins to happen. To her shock and Argle's excitement, everyone starts transforming, with Argle exclaiming that they've all become weird. The punchline reveals that the characters are turning into CG models, humorously stating they've become Saturn fans and virtual, a meta-joke referencing the console and its capabilities.
The page concludes the lighthearted chapter with Argle waving goodbye and an acknowledgement that many readers likely anticipated this sort of comedic, meta ending. The bottom section includes an address for fans to send letters and artwork to the manga artist, Kokomabi.
This page features the Hyper Ultech section, packed with tips and tricks for various Sega Mega Drive games, presented alongside a charming illustration of a girl and a duck mascot. The section covers several popular titles including Sonic and Knuckles, Contra, Hardcore, Panorama Cotton, and Langrisser I and II. For Sonic and Knuckles, there's a trick revealed to access special stages by linking different cartridges. The tip for Contra: Hardcore details commands to potentially unlock a full weapon set and even start the game with a massive 70 continues. A true game-changer for this challenging title. Panorama Cotton gets a tip for doubling your life count. The Langrisser series features tips focused on unlocking hidden content within the games. For Langrisser I, there's information on revealing hidden character classes and their prerequisites, outlining how characters can level up and acquire special abilities. Langrisser II details how to access a hidden shop where players can purchase powerful weapons and items early in the game. Each tip includes screenshots to guide players through the necessary steps. The section uses a star rating system to indicate the perceived usefulness or interest level of each tip. At the bottom, there's a call for readers to submit their own Ultech findings via postcard or fax, offering compensation for accepted tips. This page is dedicated to upcoming titles for the Sega Game Gear, featuring previews and information on several exciting releases alongside a charming illustration. Get ready for a mobile dose of fighting action with Samurai Showdown, bringing its signature weapon-based combat and distinctive characters to the handheld. Fans of anime and RPGs can look forward to Magic Knight Ray Earth, an RPG based on the popular series, exploring dungeons and engaging in battles determined by a unique roulette system. Sports fans aren't left out, with a simulation title based on the Slam Dunk anime and the golf game Fred Couples Golf, offering detailed courses and play modes. For those who enjoy action platformers, Sailor Moons arrives, featuring the Sailor Guardians battling enemies with signature moves and including various minigames. A more unusual title, Gambler's Panic, challenges players with various casino games like poker and blackjack against computer opponents. Puzzle game enthusiasts will be pleased to see Puyo Puyo 2, featuring its classic competitive puzzle gameplay and multiple game modes, including support for multiplayer via link cable. Disney's The Lion King also makes its way to Game Gear as a side-scrolling action game, letting players control Simba through memorable scenes. Finally, the Game Gear Information Bureau section provides updates on Royal Stone and Sylvan Tale, highlighting their RPG and simulation elements, with screenshots showing battles and character interactions. The page showcases a diverse lineup hitting the Game Gear. This page dives into the hot upcoming releases for the Sega Saturn, Super 32X, Mega Drive, and Mega CD, scheduled for December 1994 and January 1995. The main feature is a detailed look at Beyond Oasis, known as the story of Thor in Japan, for the Mega Drive. This action RPG is highlighted for its fluid combat, where the protagonist, Ali, can perform a wide variety of moves and summon elemental spirits using a unique armlet. The preview showcases the diverse enemies, impressive bosses, and the engaging story centered around ancient artifacts and a brewing conflict. The reviewer seems impressed by the game's robust action and graphical detail for the platform. The page also provides smaller previews for other titles hitting the various Sega systems, including the platformer Clockwork Knight on Saturn, racing titles like Virtual Racing Deluxe on 32X and Nigel Mansell's on Mega Drive, and several Mega CD games like Lunar, Eternal Blue, and Tomcat Alley, alongside other action and sports games. It's a solid lineup hitting just in time for the holiday rush, showing the breadth of Sega's offerings across its multiple consoles. This page continues the look at hot new releases for Sega platforms, featuring Disney titles and a unique FMV game. It leads off with Mickey and Minnie, the Great Circus Mystery on the Mega Drive, described as a platformer where Mickey and Minnie use different costumes, such as Sweeper, Ranger, and Cowboy/Cowgirl, each granting unique abilities to overcome obstacles and restore peace to the circus. The review highlights collecting items and coins, exploring different stages from a chaotic circus to a jungle, and the action-focused gameplay based on the costume system. Next up is The Lion King on the Mega Drive, chronicling Simba's journey to become king. The preview shows off the game's action gameplay, focusing on Simba's pouncing attack, and later, as an adult, using claws. Screenshots highlight various stages, including the plains, elephant graveyard, and challenging boss encounters. The reviewer notes the different stages and enemies encountered during Simba's adventure. The right side includes a hot new releases list, covering games featured on this page and others like Tomcat Alley from the previous page, noting the release window of December through January. Finally, the page features Tomcat Alley for the Mega CD. This is a live-action virtual cinema game where you play as a pilot flying a MiG in aerial combat. It emphasizes the realistic visuals and the intense feeling of being in the cockpit, engaging in dogfights by locking onto targets and firing missiles. It seems to be praised for its immersive, full-screen FMV experience. This page highlights 4 new game releases. First, Tom and Jerry on the Mega Drive is an action platformer where you play as Tom or Jerry, rescuing Jerry from an evil dog, featuring 2-player co-op and unique levels. Nigel Mansell's IndyCar for the Mega Drive puts you in the driver's seat of Nigel Mansell's 1993 IndyCar, with 3D graphics, 15 tracks, and realistic racing elements. Soulstar for the Mega CD is a 3D shooting game where you pilot a transforming ship against aliens, with different ship forms, power-ups, and 2-player support. Finally, Tecmo Super Bowl II Special Edition for the Mega Drive is an American football game with updated data up to 1994, trading, expanded formations, and strategic depth. The next page blasts out tons of new game information, primarily focusing on upcoming Sega Saturn titles, but also touching on the 32X, Mega Drive, and Mega CD. Headlining the Saturn section is Riglord Saga, a strategic RPG with 3D character models battling it out. It emphasizes tactical combat influenced by terrain height and character weight, promising realistic progression. The world features both Western and Eastern fantasy elements and diverse characters, showcasing early 3D models and strategic battlefield screenshots. Also previewed are 2 sports titles, Greatest 9 and Victory Goal, both featuring real J-League players using the latest data, likely from the 1994 season. Greatest 9 is a baseball sim focusing on smooth player animations and multiple camera views for a virtual match experience. Victory Goal is a polygon-based soccer game highlighting rich game modes like League and Cup play, and offering impressive freedom with camera controls, allowing you to zoom and rotate the view during matches. Screenshots show baseball action, soccer gameplay, tournament brackets, and player profiles, hinting at the depth Sega was aiming for with their early Saturn sports lineup. This page continues our look at upcoming titles, kicking off with the Sega Saturn's Wing Arms, a polygon-based flight shooter set in a post-WW2 world. It features a mission mode against an alternate history empire, and a versus mode for dogfighting, focusing on realistic cockpit details, and famous real-world and fictional planes and pilots. Next up on Saturn is Race Drive-In, a port of the arcade realistic driving simulator, utilizing the hardware for detailed textures and including unique courses not found in the original arcade version, with a variety of classic and sports cars, trucks, and even 3-wheelers. Flipping to the Genesis, Mega Drive, we find Light Crusader, a new action RPG from Treasure. This game adopts an isometric perspective to create a sense of depth and blends action combat with puzzles and RPG progression, allowing players to use a sword and combine elements for magic. The page also includes sections on hot news from Sega and other manufacturers, highlighting upcoming games like Sega CD and Saturn titles such as Echo, the Dolphin CD, Night Trap, Digital Pinball, Necronomicon, and new games from publishers like Chaleco and Ultron on the Saturn. It's clear that Sega and third parties were rapidly expanding their lineup across multiple platforms. This Sega release calendar details upcoming games for various platforms, including the Sega Saturn, Mega Drive/Genesis, Game Gear, Super 32X, and Mega CD. The Sega Saturn boasted a large launch lineup from December '94 onwards, with titles like Clockwork Knight, Virtua Fighter 2, and Daytona USA, alongside many Japanese exclusives. The Mega Drive/Genesis continued strong, with games like Beyond Oasis and Ristar. The Game Gear featured ports and original titles, such as Puyo Puyo 2 and The Lion King. The Super 32X highlighted enhanced arcade ports like Virtua Racing Deluxe. The Mega CD showcased RPGs and fighting games, including Lunar, Eternal Blue, and Samurai Showdown. The next issue promised strategy guides and news,
suggesting a bustling period of Sega releases.
This page serves as an exciting preview for a PlayStation magazine, highlighting upcoming and popular titles. The striking image features polygon characters battling, set against a dramatic cityscape, clearly showcasing the emerging 3D graphics capability of the console. The prominent headline declares Battle Arena to Shinden as a major feature, alongside a mention of a special included poster. The magazine boasts a comprehensive feature on notable titles described as masterpieces. A list of featured games includes hits like Ridge Racer, Lethal Enforcers 1 and 2 Parodius, Twinbee Taisen Puzzle Dama, Sugoi Powerful Pro Yaku 95, A Train IV, Cybersled, MotorTune Grand Prix, Starblade Alpha, and Kingsfield. It also previews Crime Crackers, Neketsu Oyako, and Twin Goddesses, offering a complete look at December's new releases. Adding significant value, the issue includes a special supplement, a complete catalog of PlayStation software released or scheduled for release. This aims to give readers a full picture of the available games and their potential, positioned as a definitive guide worth keeping. The magazine is identified as Monthly PlayStation Magazine, priced at 490 yen with the supplement. It was published by Tokuma Shuten Intermedia and sold by Tokuma Shuten. This page features a selection of upcoming titles, primarily from Victor Entertainment. On the left we see 2 fighting games. At the top is Samurai Showdown, with iconic art of Haomaru and screenshots showing swordplay. It highlights story and versus modes and is slated for release in March '95. Below that is Fatal Fury Special for the Sega Mega CD, showcasing a large roster of popular characters like Terry Bogard, Mai Shiranui, Geese Howard, and Ryo Sakazaki, along with gameplay screenshots. It boasts 15 playable characters and multiple difficulty levels, also targeting a March '95 release.
The right side presents different genres.
At the top is Soulstar, a 360-degree 3D high-speed shooting game with dynamic space environments and polygon graphics, featuring 2-player co-op. It was scheduled for release on December 22nd. Finally, Legend of the Great God is presented as a spectacular SF-RPG, drawing from classic Chinese literature, promising a rich story with detailed character drama and video animation, expected in February '95.